Ladies and gentlemen, it is here. Has arrived. Oh my god. Also, she is as crazy as everyone thought she would be, because yeah, I've been seeing people hit with Hu Tao. Hu Tao is here, by the way. I've been seeing people hit with Hu Tao easily like 170. Not easily. They have like good crit damage, but that's without Staff of Homa. Like that's huge. even without that. We're gonna get into that in a minute. I don't know if I need to wait. I was gonna wait like a week, let people see what they were gonna do. I don't know, because already she looks like, at the very least, she's a very competent DPS. Also, my worry factor of like there being kind of like a lull period within her combat isn't that present, because as long as you're waiting and doing cycles, which you're already doing with Xiao, I already was doing with Razor, basically you're just cycling to other characters, queuing up their abilities, and by the time you get back to your character, your ability's back. Which that 5 seconds, it apparently goes by a lot faster than I thought it did. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing what we always do in this brand new character. What you should always do in this brand new character is not wail immediately or even spend immediately, but instead try them in the test arena. Also, oh, we have her story quest. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I was wondering what the heck that was. All right, so let's start with our girl. Also, I will say, I think the reason why they didn't do Kaching's like test run justice, so to speak, is because she's a character that's been existing in the game for a long time, and she doesn't have any special things. She doesn't have a iconic weapon or anything like that. But similar to Xiao, Hu Tao has all the bells and whistles and kind of exactly how you could and probably should build her. Basically, Hu Tao's E ability puts her into a stance, which takes 30% of your HP. Now, her normal attack and her charge attack and her plunge attack and everything deal pyro damage. Not only that, but a percentage of your HP is scaled with an attack buff. So when you activate your E, you enter this stance, you get attack buff. All your attacks deal pyro. Also, you get a special thing on your charge attack, which actually puts a damage over time effect on people. Awesome. Also, this is something I did not know. Hu Tao has a passive bonus, which doesn't even say anything, but when you dash, you become like a specter ghost for a split second, which allows you to go through enemies and potentially trees. Who knows? Probably not trees, but enemies. Anyways, now you're losing a bunch of health, but Hu Tao's ult, if you hit more enemies, you get more health regen, or health steal, whatever you want to call it. Not only that, but her fucking ult bops. Her ult smashes shit, man. It is beautiful. Now, the only negative to Hu Tao is that she is, which is one of her best positives too, but she is so fire-based. She's not like Razor, who can kind of do electricity, but also do predominantly physical damage, which can be affected by everything. So if you have a wizard in play, little rough it's gonna be. But they also gave her Staff of Homa, which is already a massive weapon in terms of it scales off of crit damage, and it also gives you a base 40% or 20% HP buff, and then also it scales extra attack based on that HP bonus. Which, by the way, Hu Tao scales drastically with HP, and she kind of plays with that, like being close to death, but really not really, because she still has like 15k health. If you built her probably right. But anyways, let us get into see what the hell the designers were thinking when building her. What are her things? She has decent crit rate, and probably 60 is best, but whatever. Also, she's very talkative. People have been saying she's just on it. Always. Anyways, crit damage is 180, solid. In fact, it's incredible. I've seen people get to 220 with relative ease, depending on how much you get lucky with your substats and whatnot. But I digress. Also, her elemental recharge is 135, pretty good. Pyro damage. Now, here's the thing. Her pyro damage will get even better once she gets below 50% health, which is why Hu Tao, generally speaking, should be played with her health really low. Bennett works really well because he brings her exactly to 70% HP, and then you activate her E, which will take 30% of her health, which will put you right below 50, which will give you the best bang for your buck in terms of skills such as it's lagging. Such as this right here. When Hu Tao's HP is below 50%, she gets a damage buff. 35% damage buff. Love it. She also has this, which kind of plays into her potential roles. I think I've seen people just play her as her, and it works out perfectly fine. There's just like a couple seconds of downtime, switch up your other characters, activate their abilities, switch back, and you're good to go. But if you do want to run her as a side DPS, which is great for like any sort of build, also fire is just really good in general. This basically has whenever Hu Tao's ability or her stance, her E, ends or she leaves the field, everyone in your party gets a 12% crit rate buff. That's great, except for Hu Tao. So it's supposed to be an idea of like, okay, now you go. Now it's your turn, or now it's your turn to queue up abilities so that they're critting and stuff like that. Love it. Also, Hu Tao's got a side bonus, a side buff, where whenever she cooks any dish, she gets a suspicious dish, which I believe has an effect of her HP. Somehow, like, gives you all of your HP back or something weird. Now, here's the thing that's a bit rough about Hu Tao. Her scaling is bad, except for her charge attack. Her charge attack is pretty legit. Everything else, pretty shit. But it's still probably worth investing in this, but I don't think it's as important as investing this. I think the skill priority is invest in this as much as you can, and then invest in your ult as much as you can, because I think this thing hits hard, and then if you want, you could throw some into your base attack, because that is what you're going to be doing as well. But yeah. Now, her ult, as you can see, hits really, really hard. 400% scaling. Also, when you're low HP, you're going to be hitting even harder. Absolutely massive. Also, the HP when you're lower is amazing, which again is why you're going to want to kind of take some hit. You want to stay below 40, below 50 ideally, but 40 works. That's why I think Bennett's going to be a perfect kind of healer. Also, he's going to be generating particles for you. That way you can always heal if you need it. Also, Bennett's just cracked. Regardless, last thing, her constellations. We're going to only talk really about the first two. This one's massive. If you happen to get a double Hu Tao, I think you're in an amazing state. But basically, her charge attack, when you activate her stance, her charge attack does not consume stamina, which I think would be amazing for damage. Because yeah, you like the best thing that scales with her base attack is her charge attack. Not only that, but if you get the second one, it's even crazier. Blood Blossom, this effect when you're in your E stance and you hit somebody with a charge attack, it applies Blood Blossom, which is a damage over time effect. Now this thing takes the amount of damage that is equal to Hu Tao's HP and affects that as the damage over time effect, basically buffing it by a whole shit ton of a lot if you're already building Hu Tao right, which is HP based. So that's massive. That's going to, I think, just shatter the world, especially with just these two. The first constellations completely complete each other. And yeah, I think that's going to be massive. Again, the way Hu Tao scales is her charge attack. Her charge attack is amazing. Not only that, but her charge attack actually chucks you across the map. It's a traversal kind of ability as well, kind of like a spear user, like Shang Ling, that kind of vibe. More scaling. This one, when you defeat an enemy that has a Blood Blossom, your charge attack apply, you'll get 12 crit rate for everybody in the party, excluding Hu Tao, of course. Again, playing with the idea of hopefully you killed this enemy before and then you'll switch over, but it's up for 15 seconds and her E lasts 9 seconds, so you got more than enough time to switch over and get the benefits with your other characters. Scaling, and this is the one that people are talking about and memeing, but basically this makes Hu Tao absolutely lethal and immortal, more or less. More lethal, or more immortal than lethal, but kind of both. Regardless, when her health drops below 25% or she just dies for like getting one banged, she gets a shit ton of damage resistance. Well, first of all, she doesn't die. Second thing, she gets a ton of damage resistance and she's uninterruptible. She gets elemental and physical resistance, that's what they're saying, as well as she gets 100% crit rate, and this lasts for 10 seconds. So this is going to be people like changing the way they build Hu Tao. They could just go crazily high into crit damage and forget about crit rate and just get hit and then quickly switch to her and one bang everything in the whole game, basically, which will be nuts. But also, it is limited a little bit because it's on a 60-second cooldown. Yeah, little limited. I don't know. Feels like it's still not that bad, but still cool if people have it. I don't know if it's the best to build around it. Like I said, I think you're probably just better off going with good crit rate, good crit damage, and then if you just want to have all the crit rate, you can. Anyways, let's check out our girl's main attack. Okay, so some people are saying her attack looks kind of slow. Her last attack looks a bit slow. This right here. Oh, that last sweep. That like sweep, that kind of took a little bit of time. But also, it's very wide attacks. It's not like very like stabby, which cannot hit a lot of people. It's very sweeping attacks, which is awesome. Also, I don't want to use her E yet, so let's just get. Also, that's what happens when you dash. You go invisible, or you're not go invisible. You kind of activate spectralness. which is the best. Also, in the training arena, just to let you guys know, you do get more energy recharge, so just be careful with that. But yeah, she is already absolutely smashing things. I did turn off my thing. Okay, so on a passive, she has really low attack. So you guys can see we're doing 1,000 damage with a level 90 weapon. Like, what the fuck? And she's got level 8 talents. But that's because when we turn on this, boom, now she's doing 6,000 damage, 21,000, 8,000, 21,000. Charge attack. I said charge attack. Also, her charge attack is a very generous dash. Also, we're low on health. Guess what we're gonna do? One of these! Fadoosh. Now, I do think when you're in your E stance, that actually is a little bit better. But I can't believe we're doing so much damage. Let's do a charge attack. 33,000 goddamn damage. Oh my goodness. What the fuck? It's so much. Now, normally, okay, now first things first, again, we're doing an obscene amount of damage. That's because we have the Hu Tao's weapon. Even if you have the black, basically if you go into the store right now, I can't show you, but if you go into the store right now, there's a polearm in there that scales off of crit damage as well, and it's pretty good for Hu Tao. Is it as good as the Staff of Homa? Absolutely not. Staff of Homa is just broken in general. But let's keep going, man. Let's get real low health. Again, I can't believe we're dealing 5,000 damage. Also, that can get through people. And again, we're able to hit people in a massive area. We can do one of these. Also, what happens when we hit people with our ult up, or with our E up? 46,000 on a non-crit. What the fuck? That's insane. By the way, if you guys are like, oh, Grin, that's not that crazy. What if that was a crit, you might say? It's crazy because we're not activating Melt, or we're not activating a Vaporize. Vaporize and Melt, if you have those built, it's crazy. Also, if you have the right characters in play in general, also, yeah, you guys can see that we're self-sufficient. We're not like in a big bad problem right now. It doesn't look like we can only apply that one ability. Oh my god, that damage over time hit for 16,000. Oh my goodness. Let's leave. Oh my god. Also, she's so cute. She's like, also her personality is just like, I'm on cloud 9 constantly, like just super happy with life, just vibing always. She's not like Xiao, who's like, I fucking hate everything. Like, god damn, Xiao, get away from me. You're fucking staining me with your negativity, all right? God damn you. I say as a person who has Xiao and very much likes him, but I want. No, I kind of need one more DPS just to be like done, because Spiral Abyss you need 2. Xiao is fine, he's built. I could go back and try to really build Razor, which I do want to do, but until the Electro buff goes in, I'm kind of just shooting myself in the foot, so we are going to roll for our girl. Now, I have 12,000, which is enough for pity. Not with the 10, it counts because it's 150 and the 40, it makes sense. But we have 12,000. I'm going to roll for her. There's a 50-50. So if those guys don't know, there's a 50% chance that we get Hu Tao when we get to 80 wishes. There's also a chance when we get to 50 that we don't get Hu Tao. We can get Hu Tao or another 5-star. But then if you go, I think, 3 wishes or 4 wishes after you wish 80 times, then you're guaranteed the banner character, which is complete pity, which is like sad. And I'm hoping we get it. But anyways, the thing I was talking about, so my plan is to get Hu Tao, hopefully. Again, regardless if we don't get her early, or like if we don't get her generally, I'm just gonna keep going until I get her. So any event primo gems, I'm gonna put right back in the banner because I don't want to get another venti, which is what they're speculating for the 5-star in the next thing. Anyways. But right here, the Black Cliff Polearm. This thing scales off of crit damage. Also, it has a kind of a neat substat, but you're really there for the crit damage. That thing is going to carry you pretty hard. So that's probably what I'm going to buy, because I just haven't used any of my special gems. But yes, give me my primo gems for Hu Tao. I'm going to spend them right back onto you. Please, Hu Tao. I literally, the reason why I'm so like kind of amped that Hu Tao is as nuts as people were saying, or speculating, it's because I've been wanting a waifu character forever. It's been a fucking glorified sausage special. I don't mean to be that way, but it's too much, okay? Also, if you happen to get Genyu and Hu Tao, absolutely massive. I'm hoping if I can get Hu Tao, then I'm hoping that I can get Rosaria, which they'll complement each other perfectly with Melt. But also if I can get a lot of Water Boy, then I might not need Rosaria, but I still want Rosaria. Regardless, yeah, Shincho, massive, absolutely fucking massive. Let me actually get into his kit. Did they give him anything special? They did not. Same bullshit. Always do the 4 stars dirty. Regardless, yeah, what's his stats, generally speaking? Good. Hydro bonus, got Hydro bonus. You got energy recharge, that's fine. Really? No Hydra bonus. Awful build. Regardless, this is one of the best support characters in the entire game. He's also in Hu Tao's banner. Now, his E like that gives you a ton of elemental particles, and if you haven't built for a lot of elemental recharge, then you can constantly back-to-back his ult. Now, his ult is the bread and butter of his entire kit, and just kind of makes him a bit nutty, which is awesome. Now, what does his ult do? Whenever you activate his ult, we actually get those swords around us, but we also get those daggers, which is absolutely crazy. Those little daggers are fantastic, and they just water damage, just increased water damage. Also, with both of these characters, water and ice, we can freeze enemies, and freeze comp in this game is absolutely massive. Yes, but Shincho has the ult back because we're just here. We're living our best life, doing all the things. And we're gonna do this. Now this, we're gonna kind of, we're perma-freezing people right now, so this is a great build for people who did build Kaya or has Ninhuang. Shincho just coupled with any person that has a decent attack speed is pretty awesome. Now unfortunately it is capped. What I was trying to say is you don't have, for Shincho he scales off of your attack speed, so if you have a character like a Claymore user who's really slow on his attack, those swords will come out with less speed, which, I don't know, a part of me kind of is frustrated with that. I wish it wasn't capped. But yeah, like, so again, if you, like with Kaya, so theoretically, if I had a spear user and I was using, what's his name, I could just infinitely throw 1,000 little daggers, right? Those little sword things, but it's capped. So that's what I was saying. But even still, most enemies, most people can fire pretty decent fire rate in this game. Even Claymore users, they're the lesser of the things, but still. Ganyu is a little weird because she has to, she's all about charge shot, right? So it doesn't really work entirely well with Ganyu, but yeah. And a quick synopsis of Chung. He is just the ice boy. Basically, he's fantastic. He's a Claymore user to boot. I don't know if they have him built particularly correctly, but yes, they're giving. The reason why he's so good is because ice is the best with fire, melt. Water is the best with fire because of vaporize. Just really good elemental reactions. Regardless, yeah, he's fantastic too. He basically puts down this giant area of cryo, infecting every character that's in that with the ability to deal cryo, which is kind of good and kind of bad in some cases. And then he just has a good damage kind of ult, which he just spews out a bunch of swords. They smash into the ground. Good stuff. If you have him at Constellation 2, he actually can. His final strike of his melee actually throws out some ice shards, which is fantastic. Once again, we're going to do one of these. We're going to use some melee attacks. We can also switch to her, and she's going to be doing cryo attacks now, which is awesome. We also can just summon some damage. Perfect. He hits weird. I don't know. He doesn't hit like crazy hard. Even in terms of DPS, he's kind of. I think he's a little bit better than Shang Ling, depending on how you build him. I know people main characters and they do a great job, but I don't know if it's the best for people who are like to say, I don't know, free to play and say. I'm not sure if it's the best to say that. Like, hey, you know, you have limited resources, go with this anyway. Rough. I don't know. Do one of these. Oh, man, them shields just take forever to crack sometimes. But he's not a defensive character, so that's something. He's not like giving you a shield or anything like that. He's just kind of trying to amplify your damage, which is really good for certain aspects of like Spiral Abyss and such. So yeah, Shang Ling I think actually has they have her built a little bit better in terms of DPS. So yeah, you can just use him as a stat stick in a way. But yes, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so jazzed for Ganyu, man. I hope I get her. I hope it's not one of those things where we get the 50-50 and I fail, and I just have to keep grinding the last bit. Hopefully, I think there are a couple events going on, so I hope I'll have enough to do that. If not, I may just drop like $10 just to get. I don't think I would, honestly. I want to save me spending money for Rosaria, because I do want to give back to the game. Because I've been playing free to play, and I don't know, I kind of feel weird about it because I do enjoy this game so much, and I've been just enjoying the free aspect. I haven't spent any money in the game besides the Welcome Moon. I've done that twice, which adds up to like what, maybe $25 or something, like give or take. Also, I bought one season pass, but anyways, come for me, I guess. Anyways, it's still not a $60 game, you know, and I know some people have spent like thousands on the weapon banner, which I just don't. I choose my battles properly. I'm not gonna go wish on something that's gonna kick my teeth in. No, thank you. But that was Hu Tao, Shincho, and Chun. Now, I will say, unlike every other character I've wished for, I was prepared for them. I am in no way prepared for Hu Tao at all. I want to stress that. I am not prepared at all. I have none of her resources. I tried to do that a little bit today because I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go for it. Even if it's just like a character that I can't make work, but I just really like the look of, and I just want to kind of try to figure out, because I'd really, really like Hu Tao. Even though I don't have the Staff of Homa, I do think I can get the Black Cliff Polearm and feel pretty good about it. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm hoping. Wish me luck. I'm thinking I'm about to do it right now. Oh no. I don't know, dude. It's rough. I'm not sure if we should. Regardless, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you enjoy. Also, I hope dearly that you guys got lucky. If you are wishing for Hu Tao and you got her, luck with you, buddy. I hope you do get it, because she is a character that I think can very, very much be a carry in an incredible way. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop talking your ear off. Those were the characters. That's a rundown. That's my thoughts on them. Very, very good. Usable. Hu Tao. And again, there are also characters that really, really, really meld with Hu Tao, with Melt and Vaporize, Chung and Xingqiu benefiting. So it is weirdly a banner that has, like, everything bundled into group to give you, with the exception of this Xiangling, who's less good in that regard, but still probably you can figure out she could work. The constellations gives her like ult or a lot of utility, so you could run her as a support damage kind of thing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe buttons to my right, 2 videos further that way. Let me know what you guys think about Hu Tao, and wish me luck. Thank you and goodbye.